All right, now we're ready.
Good morning, one and all. From California to Florida to New York City and around the world, the one and only John Limbacher broadcasting from Huntington Beach. And take it away, Johnny.
Oh, that cracks me up every time I hear it. Awesome. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all. It is right around the corner. I cannot believe it. This year has been just like a whirlwind blizzard. It's been good in some cases, not so good in other cases, but hey, here we are. We all made it through. Nobody got crushed beyond recognition. In fact, some of us came through pretty well, actually, and hoping for even better results in 2021. So that said, I hope you guys all had an opportunity to download from last week our lesson guide about how we're going to double our income in 2021. that that was an awesome call. If any of you didn't get a chance to participate in that, you probably want to go back and watch the replay. I got a lot of really positive feedback on that. It's going down the list of it's almost like a checklist to look back on the whole year. A lot of big companies do this on a regular basis. Some of them do it even weekly. Some of them will do weekly meetings. That's just too crazy for me. Like, once a year is good enough for me. But the more often you do that, the better your results will be. Because in short, what it is, it's a look back and study of your own results. So it's like when you look at them on paper, a lot of times it winds up being a slap in the face of, hey, this is what you need to be doing and this is what you're not doing. And it can really kind of help put you in gear, put you on track. And, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I have so many things going on that it all just becomes a fog. And it's like, you're just like, what should I do? What do I do today? And that little worksheet kind of clears the fog off of it and says, oh, okay, I should be doing that. If I want more money in my company, if I want to really grow, if I really want to build equity, these are the things I need to do. It's almost like your business is a machine, and this machine is sitting there in front of you all the time, 24/7. It's always on, it's always running, and there's a whole bunch of levers. And if you pull the right levers in the right sequence, money will fall out the other end. Your business really is a money machine. If it's not, then it's not a business. Just that simple. I love some of the stuff about Frank Kern. I love some of the stuff he says and some not so much. But one of the things that he says that I really like is he describes a business as being the buying and selling of merchandise. Now, it doesn't have to be physical merchandise. It could be intellectual property. But it's the creation and gathering and the selling of stuff. Like I said, it could be intellectual property. It doesn't mean that you have to, go in business manufacturing things. You could put a course together. You could do online training. Like this course right here, this ongoing call. This is intellectual property. I'm not actually, out turning nuts and bolts. I'm showing up and delivering intellectual property in exchange for money. And the more of that I do, like if I wanted to expand that, there's 8 of you guys on here right now. Now, that's pretty light, but hey, we're a couple of days ahead of Christmas. Now, normally, we've got 2, 3, 4 times this many on this call. But if I wanted to expand this, what would I do? I would market it. Marketing is the key to everything. Marketing is the biggest lever on that big box sitting in front of you. If you want a lever to pull, it's the marketing handle. Market, market, market. And to do that, it's strategy. There's another lever called strategy. If you pull the strategy and the marketing together, then you're very effective. So if you don't, then, you wind up just kind of chasing your tail. But anyway, enough of that. I don't want to, be on here and feel like I'm browbeating you guys at this point in the year. It's time to look back, celebrate, and get ready for a spectacular year ahead, because that's what's coming if you make it that way. And we all have the ability to do that, because it doesn't matter. Like, some people tell me that 2020 was horrible. They say their business fell apart. Things were hard. They all kinds of stuff. I heard all kinds of stuff, but doesn't matter what I heard. What I really heard in the back of my mind was, wow, there's a lot of opportunity here, because the bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. If you have customers that are falling off, if they're saying, hey, I can't afford your services, or I can't afford to buy your products, or whatever, they're hurting. They don't want to be in that position. They don't want to stop working with you. They have to, because of a problem that they have. Maybe they didn't even create the problem. Maybe the problem was the pandemic, whatever. You can point fingers and you can blame it at whatever you want. Doesn't matter what it is. It's a problem. And anyone with a problem is going to have issues caused by that problem. It doesn't matter what it is. It didn't matter how it happened, who did it, who caused it. None of that matters. What matters is the person with the problem is looking for a solution. There's always money in solutions. So the bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity to fill that gap, fill that hole. And what's that sound like? That sounds like a money-making opportunity. That sounds like a machine chuck full of cash. You just need to start pulling the right levers. So it's not like all the money out there just disappeared because this pandemic showed up. That didn't happen. People might be freaked out. They might have, lost some income, but if they lost income, where did it go? It's still out there. It didn't vanish into thin air. It's still out there. Money's still being moved. You have to find the opportunities and create something of value to fix problems. So that's what it's all about. I mean, for me, 2020 has been a tremendous year of something I would never have expected, which is web development. I used to do a lot of web development back in, the mid 90s, even the early 2000s. And, everybody needed web development. And then it got to a point where everybody had it. Nobody needed it anymore. And it was a hard business. It's like you can't sell something to somebody that's satisfied. But now it's like enough time has passed by. All those websites that got created in the 90s and the early 2000s, they're all garbage. They're not secure. They're not mobile friendly. And what's happened, it's almost like, you hear about fashion comes in and out of season. Well, the fashion called web development is back in season. It's fashionable again. Everybody is needing new websites. They're needing them secure. They're finding out, hey, if my site's not secure, people don't trust it. Google doesn't trust it. If my site's not mobile friendly, all these younger folks, and I'm actually falling into the younger folks category now because I'm doing it too. I'm doing everything on my cell phone. So I never thought I would see that day that I would fall into what the younger folks were doing. But hey, the day is here. The day has arrived. The cell phones, mobile devices, they are prevalent. And if your website is not catering to them, guess who has a problem now? You do. So somebody will come along and solve the problem for you in exchange for money. So problems go both ways. They're to and from. So find the people that can solve your problems and find the people that you can solve theirs, and the money will continue to travel around. So got to keep that money flowing. Got to keep our economy live and well. Keep this country on top, because that's where we need it to be. All right. So anybody got anything you want help with? You want to share this?
I got a tail end for your section on what you just presented, sir.
All right, let's have it.
Okay. Marketing, get the word out. Strategy, plan to get the word out. 3, find the problem, present the solution, solve the problem. Done.
You pretty much got it. You took my 10-minute spiel there and put it into 10 seconds. That's awesome. I need to focus on that. So, but very cool. I'm really excited about 2021. There's a lot of opportunity. There really is. I know, some of you that got hit hard don't see it, but take some time, between now and the end of the year, and just kind of chill out and just really think. I mean, this is where you move forward. It's thought. There's all kinds of stuff out there about, thoughts come reality. Well, it's true. You need to really think about what problems are out there and what you can do to solve them, and then how you're going to do that. Once you figure out what it is, now it's how are you going to market it? How are you going to get it to the right people? I would always encourage you guys, don't be afraid to go back to fundamentals. This helps me a lot all the time, is sometimes I just get too deep in a hole and I'm not seeing out. And sometimes I got to just pull back and go back to the fundamentals. And in this case, the best fundamental strategy, when you're, in that scramble mode, you might be scrambling, figuring out, oh my God, how am I going to do it? What am I going to do next? Always, before you decide, always go back and look at the freedom formula lessons. It's the first part of ACT. And the biggest thing there, the biggest takeaway, is making sure you're focused on a profitable segment of a market. That, if I could only get one thing across, that would be it. If you're not focused on a profitable segment of a market, you're going to have a tough time. You're going to have an uphill battle. And none of us want that.
John, can you give some examples of profitable segments?
Sure.
Versus non-profitable?
Absolutely. On a profitable segment, there's 3 key components to identify a profitable segment. The first one is that segment of the market has to be large enough to support your sales goals. A perfect example of this in a financial disaster that it cost me by not doing this was when I had my sport fishing t-shirt business. And me and my brother, we decided we're going to open up a sport fishing business so we can pay for our fishing, right? We're going to write off all of our boats and our fishing gear and all that stuff. So here's how it happened. We figured, okay, we're going to develop lures. We're going to manufacture lures. And when I sat down and I started looking at, okay, how do you market a lure company? I did a competitive analysis. And I looked at all the lure companies to see what they were doing, how they were marketing, and every one of them was making t-shirts. Every one of them had their lures on t-shirts, and they had the t-shirts on the back of every person in every tournament in every harbor. So I'm like, okay, we need a t-shirt line. When I looked at the t-shirts, I'm like, holy shit, there's more money in the t-shirts than the lures. Let's dump the lure line. Let's go for the t-shirts. Let's go for the money, right? So I saved myself right there, but then I made a freaking huge mistake, because this is where ego ate me alive. Me and my brother, we like to fish for big fish. Like you see the guy behind me there, marlin, big tuna, trophy fish. When you break down the segments of fishing, that is the smallest, most minute section of fishing. It was everything to us because it was what surrounded us. It's like, you know, when you are activated to something, you see it everywhere. Well, that's all we saw. We saw marlin, we saw tuna. We didn't take a step out of our own circle and look and see how tiny that group really was. It was pretty small. Looked big to us because we were right in the middle of it. But when we stepped out, took a look, we're like, oh my God, there's like 1,000, there's like 10,000 to 1 people fish for bass. I've never caught a bass. That's like bait to me. And I'm thinking, this is where my ego came in. I'm like, why in the Sam hell would I put bait on my shirt? Right? But I got to tell you, that market that I ignored was 10,000 times bigger. And those guys, that bass is their trophy. It's just, you know, the whole thing about ACT is learning how to see through their eyes, learning what's important to them. So the moral to the story here is I lost a shitload of money because I developed a line of shirts where there was no market. Me and my brother had a huge wardrobe, basically. We loved them, but I mean, I'm not saying there was no market. We sold a bunch of them, but it was nowhere close to our sales goals. And when we finally listened, when we finally took, you know, we opened our ears and started listening to the market talking about bass and trout and bluegill and crappie. And I'm like, what the hell is a crappie? You know, well, it's a fish that a gazillion people love to catch and they prize them. So what does that tell me? There's a huge market. It's profitable because here's the other two pieces. The first piece is size of the market. It is ultimately important. If your market's not big enough to justify your sales goals, you're done before you even get started. So the second one is, does the market, can they afford your product? Now, you know, we're talking about shirts. Everyone needs a shirt anyway. Everyone can afford this product, so that wasn't a problem. The last one is the problem or the thing big enough and great enough that they'll actually part with the money? So there's your three pieces. Is the market segment big enough? Is the problem big enough they'll part with the money? And do they have the money to part with? So an example of that is if you were selling lobsters. If lobsters was your product, a lot of people like lobster, right? And a lot of people can't afford lobster though. So you got this huge market that wants them. And let's say you focus your marketing efforts on Skid Row. Obviously they all want them, but they don't have the money. If they had the money, they would pay. So you've only got 2 out of 3. You have to have all 3. They have to have the money and they have to be willing to part with it. And it has to be a big enough segment. So Jim, that good enough examples or? You're muted out there.
Yeah, that was super helpful. Thank you so much.
Perfect. So
yeah, I love your stories and examples too. So it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's ever been roughed up through stuff to learn lessons, I've been there. I've learned these lessons firsthand. Teresa, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, how did you research? Oops. How did you research the size of your market?
On the fishing?
Yeah.
Basically, there's all kinds of statistics. You can go online and you can look up, how many fishermen, or you can also go on to Google Trends. And you can put in like marlin versus largemouth bass, and it will show you the trends. And if I would have done that, I wouldn't have made that mistake. So Google Trends is a good free tool that's, really user-friendly and easy to do, easy to use. But there's all kinds of stuff. Like you can go to trade publications. A lot of times they'll have data on markets. There's a ton of different places. You just have, based on what niche you're in, there's going to be different resources for that. A lot of times there's websites. There's also data companies. You'll find sometimes you'll have access to data companies, and they can give you some absolutely amazing data. It costs money, but you're going to spend the money anyway. Whether you do it yourself and you spend the time, our time is valuable. To me, time is more precious than money. I can make all the money I want. I can't make any more time.
It would be interesting to go to list brokers and see what they have in your particular niche.
Yeah. That's another source. That's basically what I would consider a third-party data source. And a lot of times they'll work for free because they want to sell you a list.
Exactly.
So you
could like free.
Yeah, you could go in and get them to work for you. Go in and say, hey, I'm looking to find a profitable market, and just give them some parameters and let them go to work. They'll go and they'll tell you how big those lists are.
Good idea. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Lisa.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Awesome hat. I love it.
I
was actually looking for something similar and couldn't come up with it. So here I am, as is.
Thanks for getting back to me on that other stuff. It makes sense, but I sent you another email. So I have a question. I ran a webinar last Saturday, and because I like it to do it more as a training, like we're all meeting on Zoom, and I pay for Zoom and whatever, I had them opt in to the webinar through Kartra, which is awesome because I captured new emails.
Yeah.
But because Zoom has no tracking, the way I set it up, I don't know who showed up, who didn't, blah, 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 blah. So it's a two-part question. I looked at Webinar Jam because Webinar Jam does give you, not at the basic level, which is $500 a year, but at the next level, which is $700 and something a year, the ability to, spotlight and pull in a person and work with them. So I'd need a 4-seater. However, it's got a lot of other really cool stuff, because one of the challenges for me was, as it always is like, oh, let me share my screen and touch that and do that and run a slide. I looked like an idiot, but I still converted 7. I was going for 10, got 7. Really happy about that. But it's just all the back end is all. So the first question is there a Zapier integration perhaps that could track signups through Kartra onto Zoom so that that back end wouldn't be so messy now? Because literally I was writing down who showed up. Ridiculous. Can't do it. I gave up.
Yeah.
Or do you think Webinar Jam is worth it?
I know Webinar Jam is a great product. I haven't used it myself, so I can't really give you like firsthand data on it. We did use their Ever webinar for one of our clients recently. And the Ever webinar, it's a version of that. I think that might be the upgrade you were talking about.
No, it's a different product that's both offered by Kartra, and the Ever webinar is supposedly, I guess, designed for once you do it once, it just does it.
Yeah.
But you can do that with the other one anyway.
Yeah. Or you don't really even have to do it once. You can pre-record it and then load it up. the thing with EverWebinar is you can set it up so it looks like live webinars.
Yes.
It's like, it's beyond evergreen. It makes them look like each one is actually live.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't look at that one yet, and it's probably the same price point.
Yeah, I believe it's very similar. That's why I was wondering if that was the upgrade.
Well, we're going to be doing free webinars at least once a month, but they're true trainings
Okay.
in different subjects all next year. And that is, of course, to get people off social onto the list.
Mhm.
Because right now I don't want to spend my money on ads yet because my
Yeah.
social isn't big enough. But
Well, I can tell you what I do for my webinars.
yes,
And I use Zoom, but I do not use Zoom registration. So
neither do I.
So when I set up my webinar, I say do not require registration, and then it just gives me the Zoom link.
Right.
And then I create an opt-in form in Kartra.
Did that.
And in the thank you letter, in the thank you page, I just give them the link, to join the webinar.
Did that.
So really, the only thing I'm using Zoom webinar for is just to actually deliver the webinar and do the recording. That's
Well, the thing that I'm trying to track is at the end of the webinar, you don't know who showed up. So you don't know how to scale or what your conversion rates are, or anything.
you actually, I'm pretty sure you do. I'm pretty sure that it gives you your stats. If you go into Zoom webinar.
Oh, but I'm not using Zoom webinar because I want to interact. And you can't do that on Zoom webinar.
Okay.
They can
so
go
you're
in the
not-
chat and talk to each other, but you can't bring somebody on
Okay. So
and
you're
work
not
with them.
Okay, I gotcha. So you're not actually using the webinar, the Zoom
No,
webinar.
I'm using the meetings like this so that we
Okay.
can work together. And that's what I liked about Webinar Jam, is that if you have 4 seats and it's 2 of you, you can go into anybody who's attending and make them come into and work with them.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. I see what you're doing now.
So
Yeah,
I'm not
and
using any webinar platform at present, and not using a webinar platform left me with a lot more work. And
I could see that for sure.
so is there any kind of Zapier, if anybody here knows a Zapier integration that I guess would work with Zoom? Because
The only Zapier integration that I know of, I mean, you can integrate Zoom and Kartra with Zapier, no problem. I don't know what all it will grab and transfer across. Like, I know you can set up a Zap that if somebody uses the Zoom registration, you can transfer them into Kartra, which I don't need that. I bypass that altogether by using
Right.
Kartra for
Yeah.
my registration.
I just need stuff to be easier.
Yeah. No, that's I'd have to play around with the Zoom webinar settings to see if you can have an open forum like that.
In everything I search for,
No.
no. And
Will
okay, great. So
Will it do it in EverWebinar? Do you know if
that I haven't looked into.
Because I don't think so. I think that's the whole premise between an actual webinar. What you're talking about is an open meeting.
Well, that's what's cool about Webinar Jam, is it can be both. It says used for teachers, and you've got whiteboard, and you've got all these. I mean, I like, after the video, I was like, sign me up. And then I saw it was $700, $800, which, in the world of investing in your company, I get it. I would do it. I just wanted to, like Teresa said, free is good.
Yeah.
And I still converted 7 people, but what doesn't look good is then the follow-up and the sequence is, hey, I'm still working on my technology. The webinar was called Adapt or Die. I said, I'm still adapting to the new technology. So I don't know actually whether you came to the webinar or not. If you did, thank you so much. I hope you got value. If you didn't, but it doesn't help.
Well, all of that integration stuff that you're talking about, there's a lot of programming behind that. That's probably why the expense of it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's, it's almost like one of those things, you get what you pay for. And And I know for sure there's a lot of expense in all that automation that you're talking about to have a platform that does all that and keeps the analytics and all that
I'll
stuff.
look at EverWebinar too. And then just to maybe have you be able to answer this quickly instead of having to go back and forth on email, where are the global affiliate settings in Kartra?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's the only thing she doesn't know where it is. and neither do I.
that's super easy. If you click on products, you click on first the products tab, and then that's going to roll out products, affiliates, and analytics.
Yep,
You click on affiliates up at the top,
yeah,
and right directly below that, there's the one called settings.
I'm there, okay.
And then right there at the top where it's the third one down, product specific versus account wide. And if you change it,
Oh, I see, and I've got product by product.
yes, if you have product by product, they literally have to sign up for each product to promote it.
Got it, all right.
Just
So
change
that's
it to
right.
account wide, and then when
Uh-huh.
they log in to get their links, they will see access to whatever links you want them to have.
Fabulous. Now, here's the second part of that is I've got, like you do, 3 different, 4 different, 5 different, and pretty soon to be a lot more of the products as we roll them out. And that will all just automatically show up under my affiliate promos. But what about swipe files and banners? Like, do I need a different affiliate marketing page for each one of my products to help people with?
Okay, you should, yes.
And how do you do that? Do you just do it from one main page with links to other pages? Or, here's my main affiliate, like once you sign up, here's my main affiliate page. Like I kind of just need my head wrapped around that.
Okay, sure. Like I'll show you, let me share my screen. I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so you guys can probably see my screen now. So first off, let me show you guys, if you're over here in Kartra, you click on products and then affiliates and settings. And then it's this third one, product specific. You want account wide.
Yes.
See how I'm on account wide?
Right. Oh, can I stop you just for a minute? Now, if I had product specific and I've had 2 affiliates sign up under the product specific, do I have to have them re-sign up once I change it?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
And I
Got it.
think once you change it, it's going to change it across the board. So on my site, down at the bottom, I have become an affiliate page. So this is a page just for my affiliates. So they can
Yes.
join, they can see the terms of services, they can see the products. And this is just a page in Kartra that I created.
Yes, and
Oh.
they have those there already ready for us as a template.
Exactly. In fact, this one is one of the templates. You'll see one that looks very similar.
Okay.
I grabbed theirs and used it. So I put on here the commission rates. Again, another sign up button. And then down here, here's some like testimonials. This, again, people could use this as swipe copy if they wanted to. This is another product, the commission rates on that.
So how many actual different products do you have in there? About 8?
There's actually only 3, but there's different levels of each one.
Got it. Okay.
So
That's
it's
too complicated for me right
variations.
now. All right.
And then you put, how to contact your affiliate manager, all that stuff.
Oh, great.
And down here, I've got example campaigns, like what the campaigns look like. Here's an example of the webinar replay page. So they can visually see what they're going to get when they promote. Like if somebody does a webinar for me, I'm going to create a page like this for them with their webinar on it. So they'll be able to promote that evergreen. And then email swipes. This is copied right out of their thing. So
Okay. So, okay, wait, email swipes. Is that for each product?
yes. So you notice I have several here. And then banners, same thing. And you guys know how lazy I am. I have not done the banners yet.
All right. Okay. But I got you.
But this is where they would go. I just put coming soon.
Let's see your Facebook compliant banners. Are
But
they in there?
No, I don't have any.
Oh, none of them.
I don't think. Yeah, it's just a
Okay.
placeholder.
Got it. Yeah, I'm really clear that my quote unquote creative clients, 2 of them signed up to be, but I need to help them, but that's not where my best marketing arm is going to come from. It's going to be joint venture partners
Yeah, but
but I also want to have this set up for them. So,
but you know how we focus a lot on the big idea. Your affiliate people are not going to be like expert marketers like that. So the more that
exactly.
you can do for them, the more successful you're going to be when you're working with affiliates.
That's why I want to have this all set up before I even reach out to those people.
Yeah. So I've done a lot of these for them. I have a bunch more I should probably load up in here too, but I've got one. This is a big idea. My cell phone searched for you. Why? That's an intriguing thing for that particular. Probably doesn't mean anything to you because you're not in tune with what we're doing with this particular campaign. But for them, that would be a compelling subject line. They'd open it up.
So John, is this all subject lines and stuff for one product or for every product? I'm a little confused.
What you should do is you should have swipe files, and you should have one set for each product. Just like the banners, like notice I've got Elva Shift. That's just one campaign.
Gotcha.
For one product. Convert Like Crazy. That's a different campaign for the same product. And
when you go inside there, what page is that?
These are for the ACT program.
No, I got it. But what page in Kartra are you, like, can you click on one of them for me?
One of these?
Yeah.
Well, these are just banners. So there's.
Okay, so there's just the banners then. Okay.
Yeah. But like the Elva Shift, if you go back to my homepage, this is the Elva Shift campaign right here. So it's, it's a free video, reveals how a simple business shift turned a struggling musician into the king of rock and roll.
Okay.
Ad agency secret creates a flood of new customers. So that's a big idea, basically, to sell the ACT program.
Okay. All right.
So
this is very helpful. I'll just go look on your site and duplicate everything.
Yeah. So if I had my shit together, I would create, all the emails and all the images for this and put them over there for my affiliates.
Gotcha.
I've mainly been focused myself. I've mainly been focusing my affiliates on selling our SEO software products. And, over the last year and a half, we've just killed it with that. So my success has allowed more of my laziness to lay here.
Do you know which template this one is? Because it seems like it's already in there for the webinar, for the various different banners or.
Are you talking about this here?
I'm talking about the entire page that this is built on.
Yeah, this is
a
Kartra template.
Yes. Do you know which one it is? Because they all look alike and they're this big when you see them. You can't like.
Okay, let's go create a page. So when you create a page, they've got all the templates over here.
Yep.
So affiliate pages. I think it's this one. Yep, it's that one right there.
Oh, got it. Okay. And then could you just go back and just hit the back so I can see which one you picked, because it goes by so fast. Okay.
It's this one here, the blue with the yellow.
Blue and yellow, because it's your colors.
Yeah, so it's on the right hand side and it's the fourth one down.
Okay, I'll take a look through them and all that. And that's great. Okay, thank you.
So that's the one I used.
Okay.
Made it super simple too. It just, it's got so much stuff. I haven't filled it all out yet.
Yeah.
And you can basically take like this section here.
Yeah.
And you can say, get email swipes for campaign 1. And then duplicate it. Get email swipes for campaign 2.
Understood. That's great.
That's ideally, that's what you want to do. You want to make it super simple for your affiliates and
Can you scroll up to the top? can you go up to the top of that? Because you had a bunch of, I see what you did here. Okay, got it. And then you put that, but then you also put in graphics of your different programs and.
Yeah, I just embellished this. I changed the image out there, put mine. I think I put a table up here. Let me see. I think I put a table with my 3, great products. I added this section.
Okay.
I put Act, Site Pop, and then specials.
Okay. Fabulous.
But it looks pretty much like the template.
Yeah, it do.
I added this section in.
And they only
This
need
was a
one
duplicate.
link.
This was a duplicate of the one above. And then the affiliate manager section. This I think I added.
And then when they log in and they get their free Kartra account, they basically just go to my affiliate promos, and that's where all those different links are, correct?
Correct. Yes. So over here, let's go back a second.
Because my Kartra person thought of creating a membership and then having everything in a different post. And I'm like, no, because then they'd have to have a whole nother login, and that's crazy.
So
I know there's an easier way. Let me ask John.
So like this guy here, for instance, I'm basically looking at his account. This is what he would see. So he would click on promotions, and then these are all the promotions that he could promote.
Now,
And
I
then,
don't have that.
like he
Wait a
promoted,
minute. Wait. Oh, so now, but if you're a Kartra owner, it all looks completely different. I don't have this in my. Is this what he sees or what you see?
well, it's the same thing. If he goes under his account under promotions, he's going to see where he's going to see this is when he clicks on my links.
Can I share my screen with you? Because
Sure.
I'm a Kartra owner
Okay.
and I don't see anything like that.
Okay, so let me show you where it is. If you would go into my affiliate promotions.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to pick Kartra. I'm going to pick the Kartra starter. Now, see where it says my link?
Yeah.
I'm going to want my affiliate links.
Yeah.
And then this is exactly what was over there. This is just how he sees it.
Exactly. That's what I was saying, is that
So
that
notice
is.
all these links are attached to all those campaigns that I was showing you on the admin side.
Right.
So it just looks slightly different, but they're all still here.
Is that as a Kartra owner or as a,
This is as a user. This is like my
User.
affiliate.
Okay. Got it.
These are my affiliate links for Kartra. Like if I wanted to do their book campaign, notice Dominator, that's my Kartra username.
Yeah.
So I would copy that. I could go over here and paste that in. Now this is the link I would give to someone to sell them Kartra.
Right. Got it.
And it's the, the book deal, how to create an excellent book. And that's it. It's just the landing page. But now if somebody watches the video, they're tracked. And if they buy Kartra, then I get credited for that.
Great.
So, and notice how many different links they have to sell this product.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
These are all big ideas. This is marketing. This is a company that is marketing the shit out of their product.
So how does that how do you create different links for one product?
Okay, so if you go over to products, and I'm just going to take this one, for instance, and edit it. Okay, so when we go to next, I actually want to get over here. So that's page 3, 4, or yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to jump to page 6 here. This is a little trick. If you don't want to click through,
right.
Say it just popped me right to affiliates. So these are different. This is one product. These are different price points that each price point you can set different affiliate commissions.
Okay.
So if you scroll down, see where it says landing pages for your affiliate traffic?
Yeah.
This is where you can create all these different landing pages. These are big ideas. This will generate a unique link for this affiliate. For each
Got it.
affiliate.
Okay.
So this is
Understood.
where you do them. Notice I have more than Kartra does.
And I, as an affiliate, I'm an affiliate for you. I'm an affiliate for Kartra. I'm an affiliate for Craig. But then I've noticed things under my affiliate promos that I've never signed up for that apparently I'm an affiliate for. So how did that happen?
Not really sure on that one.
Something called 10,000 da-da-das. And I'm like, I never signed up for that.
But here's something cool. When you create these, all you have to do is just go to change, and then you can add as many landing pages as you want. They can be any landing page you want. It doesn't even have to be a Kartra page. Kartra will create the affiliate links and track it for you. It's amazing.
Right. Cool.
Here's the other cool thing. Notice it says this is public to all affiliates. I have some of these that is just this guy.
Yeah.
Just this guy. So like when I create a custom webinar, I want it just for his audience. So those will not show up in anyone else's links other than his.
Ooh, I'm about to have a conversation at noon, so I'm going to leave soon, about a joint venture partnership for just this thing. So it's good to know that I can create it for just one.
Yeah, because these are like my most important guys that I'll bend over backwards. I'll create whatever they want because they're going to sell the crap out of my stuff.
Nice.
So I'll create, like, notice Hitman webinar replay. This is a webinar replay just for him.
Cool.
He's called the Hitman. So take care of your Hitman.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. It does really help, which is why we are members of your program.
Absolutely. I am here to help in any way I can. So hopefully I do that.
Yeah.
All right. Who else has something they want me to solve, fix, talk about?
John, happy holiday, everyone. Hope you have a great Christmas.
Hey,
John, I signed up for Kartra prematurely. I'm excited. I write, I signed up for the contract, legal protection of my site. That was a particularly good deal because I get it for the rest of my life for whatever I pay it or something. But there's another. And so I pulled out and I got notified by Kartra, as Jim Gillette said, they want you back. So they give you half off for 6 months. But also, there's something else called Site Pop that I've been looking into that's like Kartra Lite. And, they have these automatic websites that are really easy to build. Bullshit. Nothing is easy to build. With the mantra. But the other part of it is I might be, and that's like 80 bucks a month. So Kartra's 100. I feel like, so I'm building a little mini site on that. And one of the things they said was you could have as many websites going at once, which appealed to me because I have my Cripple No More, Enjoy Your Joy, which is a passion of mine. but somehow it doesn't link into my real estate world. I might mention it somewhere in WoodyBlagman.com on the educational side, but I, like you say, let's not confuse anybody.
Yeah.
But how many sites can Kartra handle at once? And after I hear Lisa Gold, I'm scared shitless. But I realized I owned it 6 months, but I never looked at it. I just always felt like, oh, the day will come, we'll just shove the website into Kartra. And because the web never got done yet, but it's on the road. I thought, well, damn it, let's sell a couple of houses in the meantime while we're building this thing, or as Allie likes to say, let's get this plane up in the air. So is it unusual to have a couple of Kartra type services? I mean, it ups the price of, let's say these guys are 809, $1,000 a year, and Kartra is 1,200 a year. Is it possible? But they're different campaigns, and I also have a real estate thing going on this, and then on Site Pop, and then Tammy's helping me build like a website for Kartra. So all of a sudden, like, I'm a builder, hypothetically, building a couple houses at once. And I'm wondering if it's unusual to have that kind of outgoing yearly expense, for lead generation. And the last thing I want to say is this. Since I decided I had to get my ass back in gear and roll some real estate, I've had about 4 clients that I lost. Now, I wasn't ready. I had one coming over from China. She went to a Chinese broker. Now I got a Chinese broker that'll take all that stuff. I had one lady buy a shithole in Bullhead City. Who cares? But, I had a couple of deals really go south on me. And the only reason I bring it up is the only reason I bring it up is we talk about the price of the lead. Once you get the lead, you better not F it up. Or if you do, you got to include the failures in the price of your cost of doing business. Did my share make sense, Monsieur?
Yeah. You've got a little thing in any business. You've got a little thing called overhead. In the online world, these tools are kind of like your rent. In the real world, you've got rent, you've got utilities, you've got phone, you've got, advertising, you've got, licenses, you got all this kind of stuff. On the online world, you've got the same thing. They're just different. Now, as far as what you should be paying for, you should only be paying for what you actually need. The problem that you're falling into is a problem that I've fallen into many times. I do it year after year. And at the end of every year, I do the same procedure, which is that little exercise that we did last week about looking at, okay, where did I spend my time and where did I make my money and what am I going to do about it next year? And a lot of times, a lot of things get thrown to the side. They get thrown out the window moving into a new year for me. Because, it's like the story I told a little earlier about the fishing t-shirts. As soon as I identified my mistake, I shifted gears immediately. I stopped spending time on that segment and I moved to a profitable segment. Like for you, your real estate is going to be your most profitable segment. All this stuff about, you know, the joy and the cripple stuff and all that, it's not going to be a big moneymaker. Yeah, it's a passion for you, but what are you passionate about right now? Making money or being passionate? That's what you got to decide. When you make enough money, then you can go and be passionate about whatever you want. You can become a philanthropist. But we've got to get your business healthy before you can afford to do that. Now,
Yeah, I know that. But the thing is, I'm creating content for all that stuff. And, you know, it's funny. You mentioned seeing cod or whatever the hell you fish were out there in that water. Um, but, you know, my life, what's appearing to me is all the money to be made in Andy Challenge world. And there is money to be made, believe me.
yeah.
I might not be able, you know, I was talking, I'm sorry, folks, I'm taking too much time, but you know, like I said, I really have a passion. I got a hole in my neck. Every time someone hears me, they get inspired and turned on.
Yeah. So with you, what you have, the opportunity at your feet is the fact that you've got that hole in your neck and you connect with a whole world of people that have handicap challenges. You have also the unique specific ability to make money in real estate, even though you've got a hole in your neck. You could, so your community, your handicapped community has a big problem. Their problem is they're handicapped. They might have some mindset issues around that, keeping them from having, you know, a full financial future because of that mindset. You could supply them the tools. You could be their mentor. You could show them a way, but you have to have a path for them. You have to say, okay, here's how you do it. Here's a training. I'm going to show you how you can move real estate. You can make all the money you want, which will bring you all the joy in the world. But that's how you'd have to do that. And the bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. Look at the segments, you know, see how many people are actually handicap challenged that are also financially challenged because of it and could use that extra revenue source and could actually follow your program and do that. And if you've got if those numbers match up, then you've got a winner. That was what I originally proposed to you. And then you took a step back and you said, well, my real money's made in real estate. So I'm like, all right, let's go there. Because I always go for the real money.
That's right.
Where's the real money? Where's the easiest money? The easiest path? I'm like lightning. I will take the easiest path to ground. And that's what I always look for. So just like electricity, it looks for the easiest path to ground. It doesn't run around all over crazy looking to find ground. It's like, there it is, boom. It should be the same thing with your business. What's the fastest path to cash? And boom, let's take it. And then once you get that, life changes. I guarantee you, when you when you have a business that's generating enough revenue that you don't care about stuff anymore, and you've got to that point, I guarantee you things are going to change. It's going to allow you a lot more creativity. It'll allow you to do things that you couldn't do before. And you'll have a whole lot of fun doing it too. But you've got to get that first step. You don't get that first step, you never get the rest.
I mean, we're meeting a couple of times a week with Tammy, and it's not for trying.
Yeah, no, but you can try all you want, but you have to have the focus of what you're trying. You know, it's like you find the ground, find the electricity, find the fastest path to cash, and focus. Just put the blinders on and stop looking at everything else for the time being. You can always come back to it. But, you know, I mean, us as human being living creatures, we only have so much time on this earth. So the faster we can get to that path to cash, the more fun we're going to have throughout our life. Because life's short, you know? And if you're not finding, here's something else I believe this to be true. If you don't find the path to cash and you're going to struggle, then life's too long to live like that.
Amen, brother.
So, Jim, yeah, go ahead.
I was just looking online. I want to buy some more phones for the marketing assistant Bing
Okay.
beta testing.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the Android Blade phone is no longer available. Do you have any other recommendations?
I noticed that myself the other day because I was going to buy some too. I went and I can't find them anymore. There's a lot of them called TLC or TCL. I have a bunch of those as well.
Okay.
I guess the idea really is what I did originally was I just bought like one of each of the ones that were available at the time.
Yeah.
I tested them, and when I found the one I liked, then I went and bought a bunch of them.
Okay.
Because it's like with electronics, every season, I bought these last Christmas. So by now it's a whole new world in electronics.
John, should I buy phones now?
No, Jim's on a different path there.
Well, Jim,
He's buying phones, you're buying houses. So
Yeah, I'm gonna be buying houses soon. So that's the idea.
very
Yeah, there's one for $20.
yeah.
Track phone.
I got a whole bunch of them last Christmas at anywhere from $19.95 to $29.95.
Okay.
So,
All right, I'll take a look. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Anything else before we wrap up and have ourselves a Merry Christmas?
you got any?
Have a Merry Christmas.
Happy, everybody. See you next
See you
year.
just before
Are we
next
doing
year.
this next week?
Yeah, where are we going to next week, John? That's what I was going to ask.
We'll do another one next Wednesday. It'll be our last call of the year. So we'll bid a fair adieu to 2020 and
Oh, yeah.
we'll
Big time.
Great. Bring champagne.
there you go. And I'm gonna find a hat just like Woody's.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, 3 days ago was the yarmulke.
All right, guys, have a great season. Have a great Christmas, and we will see you next week.
Great.
Thank you. Big hug, big love. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.